Hello class 11 students. We have seen that Leela means when everybody is accusing Siddha of taking the chain, Leela very emphatically says that no, he hasn't taken the chain. And the inspector says, my dear child, you cannot your words cannot stand as a witness, if the case goes to the court in that way. But Leela is very unhappy of the fact that even though Siddha has come, she is unable to play with Siddha. No, he hasn't taken it, Leela screamed. Her father said, baby, if you don't behave, I will be very angry with you. So Leela said that no, he hasn't taken it. She screamed that she said this very emphatically at the top of her voice, as loud as she could. She shouted, she said, no, he hasn't taken it. Why are you telling him just like that? He hasn't taken it, I know that. And so then the father became angry. He said, baby, no, you are not behaving the right way. Okay? If you don't behave the right way, if you go on shouting in this way, I will be very angry with you. Half an hour later, the inspector said to the constable, take him to the station. I think I shall have to sit with him tonight. So I shall have to sit with him tonight is, it indicates that the methods, or rather we can say the cruel methods, the police generally applies on people whom they suspect to bring out the truth. So that's how he's putting it. I will sit with him tonight. The constable took Siddha by the hand and turned to go. So the constable just held Siddha's hand and they were about to go. Leela ran behind them crying, don't take him, leave him here. So Leela just ran behind them and said, please don't take him, please leave him, please allow him to play with me. She clung to Siddha's hand. So she got hold of Siddha's hand and she was holding it this way. He looked at her mutely like an animal, and Siddha also felt equally bad. Okay, mutely means he also had a very sad expression on his face, but mute means he could not say anything. Like an animal means just like an animal who cannot, means just as animal cannot speak and they speak through expressions. In the same way Siddha also behaved the same way. Mr. Shivshankar carried Leela back into the house. Leela was in tears. So now Mr. Shivshankar took his daughter away and she was in tears. Every day when Mr. Shivshankar came home, he was asked by his wife, any news of the jewel? And by his daughter, where is Siddha? So whenever Mr. Shivshankar would come back, there were two questions. One was from his wife, that where is the jewel, and another was any news about the jewel, and another was from his daughter, where is Siddha. They still have him in the lockup, though he is very stubborn and won't say anything about the jewel, said Mr. Shivshankar. Bah, what a rough fellow he must be, said his wife with a shiver. So the wife said, Mr. Shivshankar would tell his wife that don't worry, he's still in the lockup, but he's a very stubborn person, and he no matter what methods these police use, he will not say anything about the jewel. And the wife said, see, look what kind of a fellow he is. Even after so many things, he won't speak the truth. Oh, these fellows who have been in jail once or twice lose all fear. Nothing can make them confess. So, without even the proof that he has taken it, both the husband and the wife has considers him as the thief, because he has some previous records with the police. And they say that the husband is saying that these people, if they have gone to jail once or twice, they are not afraid of anything, and so they won't confess everything, give out the truth so easily. A few days later, putting her hand into a tamarind pot in the kitchen, Leela's mother picked up the chain. She took it to the tap and washed off the coating of tamarind on it. It was unmistakably Leela's chain. When it was shown to her, Leela said, "Give it here. I want to wear the chain." So one day, when Leela's mother put her hand inside a tamarind pot, all of a sudden she felt something, and when she pulled it out, she she thought that it was the chain. And when she washed it, it became absolutely clear to everybody that it was nothing else than Leela's gold chain. So when she showed it to Leela said, "Okay, you've got the chain, let me wear it." "How did it get into the tamarind pot?" mother asked. "Somehow," replied Leela. "Did you put it in?" asked mother. "Yes." "When?" "Long ago, the other day." "Why didn't you say so before?" "I don't know," said Leela. So the mother said that, "How did this chain go into the tamarind pot? So did you put it inside that?" So Leela said, "Yes, I did." So mother said that, "Why didn't you tell me that the chain was inside the tamarind pot?" She said that, "I don't know." Means she's like a small child. "Yes, I put it in the tamarind pot, so what is it?" Means she's like, why are you creating such a fuss over this small thing? When father came home and was told, he said, "The child must not have any chain hereafter. Didn't I tell you that I saw her carrying it in her hand once or twice? She must have dropped it into the pot sometime. And all this bother on her account." "What about Siddha?" asked mother. So when the father came to know of it, the father said that I have the child will not wear any chain hereafter, and I have seen her taking the chain off and carrying it here and there. So she must have dropped it in the tamarind pot without even knowing it, and all because of her we had to go through all these things. So immediately Leela's mother asked that, "What about Siddha?" "I will tell the inspector tomorrow." So now the Mr. Shiv Shankar is not at all ready to go and tell the inspector that Siddha is not at fault. Says, "Okay, I will go and tell the inspector tomorrow." In any case, we could not have kept a criminal like him inside our house. So we find that even after he's proved innocent, Siddha is proved innocent, still Mr. Shiv Shankar and also his wife considers him as a criminal. So the injustice towards the lower class of people, or means people who are not means who are servants or like this, you know, they are not only suspected, they are ill treated, and the author very beautifully brings out the social the class discrimination or the social discrimination, but at the same time we see that how beautiful how there developed a beautiful bonding between Leela and Sita. So with this we come to the end of the revision of the chapter. Thank you, students.